Time to this off, I guess. I hope the audio is this set to the right thing. Wait, why is it janky then? Huh? Let's test this. Make sure it's coming out properly. With my mic. Why is it cutting out constantly? Maybe turn off that. Oh, I don't know what's. Maybe this. It could be that. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Oh, Okay, there we go. Yeah, it was the noise gate's broken again. I hate noise. Like I tell you, noise gate sometimes I like using noise gate because it stops certain sounds getting in, but it breaks too much. Like it has like a 75% chance of breaking. Anyway, let's go into this. Also, I don't get why I'm doing this to myself. I know this like mode is suffering incarnate. But I know like playing this is like begging myself to suffer. I know that. But I'm doing it anyway. I'm hoping like the full game like, oh, funny story why we kicked this off, yeah? So I decided to actually try the online in this game to see what it was like again, because it's been a while. As the 2 games I did, one yesterday, one today, was literally the saddest excuse of gaming I've seen in a good while. Like, this was like Elden Ring, Gank Squads, one-shot bill galore level sad. One dude, the first one, spamming every exploit in the game. Weave spam, uppercut spam, backstep straight, sidestep hook into hook, all that stuff. Guy was winning every round for some reason because the judge scoring is terrible, even though I was hitting more accurately and I was doing the more effective shots. But judge scoring is judge scoring. Anyway, so he ended up rage quitting as soon as I knocked him down because I got tired in the 9th of him just spamming uppercuts. And I had done a little warning earlier with a few like cheeky little uppercuts. So I went, you know what, let's give him another warning. I got a single knockdown. I was going to be like, okay, that's good enough. I'll play normal again. Because I'd given him a second one and hopefully this was one he would take to heart. Instead, he just rage quits immediately. Like, dude been spamming every exploit the entire game and then he gets a little bit back and he's like, no, I'm quitting. And it was just like, okay. And he had been winning like every round as well. That was the funny part. What is going on? Why does my character keep sidestepping? Is my controller glitched? Okay, 1 second. Let me unplug and replug this controller. Because it's bugged. What is going on? What's going on with my controller? It keeps triggering like every single time I click the button slightly. I don't get that. What is going on with my controller? My movement keeps glitching out. Huh. Okay, it's back to normal now. What was that? Okay, now I've been thrown off. But no, like, that was the first game. The second game was just, well, it was just hook spamming. It was a guy playing, like, Smoking Joe and just hook spamming. Which was just like, I eventually got him out. It was kind of just sad because it was just hook spamming galore. So I just went, okay, I'm playing like Patterson. I know what I'm gonna do. I just pretty much sat outside his guard and I dabbed him with like a power body shot, and then I would go down straight hook from either side. Oh jeez. I tell you, after playing Patterson, it's like this feels so slow. Like, I really despise how slow you can feel sometimes. It doesn't help that the punches don't even come out properly. And I can't hit anything because he just step back spams, of course. Oh, it's fun. Oh, here we go, another step back. Go step back spam, right? Because it's so fun. So, yeah. Okay. No. This is how you want to play. Fine. We'll treat it like that. No, okay. I'm done with this. I just played a cheesy match online. Don't think I can't cheese the AI. Because literally, this is just boring. They need to completely rework the step back straight. Because you shouldn't be able to use it to negate all offense. Look, immediately, AI just goes step back straight. Immediately. It's so boring. It's so boring to deal with. So yeah, I'm just gonna play cheesy. Because I'm sick of it. No, you want to step back straight, mate? Come on. But legit, just sidestep straight, step back straight, step back straight, sidestep straight, step back straight, step back straight, sidestep straight, step back straight, step back straight. This all the AI does. Like, you see what I mean when I said this is going to be, why am I doing this for myself? Because it's just really boring. And the tracking is so unrealistic in this game. Like, man hitting me when he's missing. Oh, but he can get all these... You know what, I'm just going to use exploits at this point. I can't be bothered. Oh, and of course he rocks me because... Oh, yeah. Man got overstat stats. Step back straight, step back straight, step back straight, step back straight, step back straight. Spam punches. It's like, it's so boring, these kind of fights. Oh, hey, dude. Sorry about my rambling. I'm just tired of this AI being cheesy. Like, legit, man starts off the entire fight by doing, like, I'm pretty sure 4 step back straights. And it's just like, You doing good, mate? Because my brain's just leaking out of my skull. I go from cheesy online match to deal with AI. I really should have picked a different game to stream. Because now I picked the worst game to stream when I'm in this mood, I tell you. Because the AI is so toxic. And it's the worst thing is, like, you think the input reading in Elden Ring's bad. This game's got it on a new level. This game straight up knows what you're doing before you even press it because of how the AI is designed. So, this game also has, like, the worst animation bugs in the world because they haven't fixed any of this stuff. And pretty much we're going to have to wait, like... We've been waiting, like, an entire year for punches to be fixed, pretty much. And we may finally, like, in a month or two's time, finally get these punches fixed. Which is misery. At least he stopped step back straight so I can actually play the game now. It just took me getting beaten up for a round before he finally stopped abusing step backs. Now I can actually play. That's nice. Because the thing is, if you're a counter puncher, you can't really do anything if the AI just decides to start steps back spamming you. Because it just counts as counter punching, which is stupid. Considering, like, the fact, the only reason step back punches work is because it bugs out the accuracy stat. Like, the game actually had better, like, design on it. Pretty much the step back strat wouldn't work at all. It's purely because certain punches just don't come out correctly. and they don't fully extend like they should. Which is the only reason half these, like, runaway strategies even work. Like, if you were realistic, what he's doing here would actually be what he does all the time to avoid my jab. But instead, it's a lot of time he does step back to avoid it. Or at least that's what he was doing round, like, 1 and 2. Or that point-blank hook just doesn't connect. Why? Who knows? You know, who knows why that point-blank hook just didn't work. Never mind, that's the closest you can get to someone and the hook's a close-range punch. It is what it is. At least now he's not stepped back and I can actually get some offense off and I can actually start doing some connections of my punches. Too bad I have, like, no arm reach in this character. I also have, like, no punch power, so I can't even stop him really from aggressing. Which is the sad part. Because the way the... here we go. The special online of, you're just stuck in the blender. I can't wait for the punch changes to make this game at least 10% more tolerable. Maybe it'll actually be enjoyable to play this game in a way that isn't just abusing the broken meta rubbish. With, like, max power and max speed as your stats. Because pretty much that is currently the way to play this game. It's just abuse high power, high speed. Like, pretty much at least, like, 88 power, 88 speed. Otherwise, the game's just a misery. And now he's just going to uppercut spam me in the body with counter uppercuts. Oh, son. Okay, I'll do it right back to you then. And yes, that uppercut totally missed. Okay, you want to abuse this? I'll abuse it right back. Like, the AI wants to cheese. I feel no illness. Yeah, it is this game is like, I would argue, one of the worst games I've ever played. It mechanically is trash.
Let's fight.
It stylistically is trash. The devs have not done a proper update to it in months because they're too busy focusing on things that really don't matter. Like, I could care less about the animations of the punches. I want them to fix the mechanics of the game. You know? That's what I want them to do. I want them to fix the mechanics before they even look at animation. Fix the accuracy stat. Fix the animations not coming out correctly and cancelling halfway through. Fix, like, the lunge on the back steps. Fix the invulnerability window of sidestepping. Add vulnerability to sidestepping. These are all mechanics that need to be in the game before the full release. You know, this is early access, but it's been in early access for, like, a while now. And the things they need to do before it gets to full release is, in my opinion, far more important than, oh, well, we just made the punches look better. Like, I could care less if the punches still have the same issues, you know? Like, who cares about new animations if all the animations have the same problem? Like, that's the thing people don't seem to get. Like, it doesn't matter if you put a shiny new coat on something if you haven't fixed the problem in the first place. It's like when... Because I felt like suffering today. Like, that's the whole point of this stream, is to be miserable, you know? Like, that's the whole point of this stream, is to be miserable. I'll play something I enjoy later, you know? I'll probably hop on, like, Elden Ring or Noah 2 later. And actually have some fun. This morning is for suffering, since I can at least tolerate this more at this time. Because I won't be able to tolerate this in later hours, so I want to save games I can tolerate for the later hours. You know? Because if I was playing this, like, around about any hour... 1 second, I need to fix my power switch, because that slipped out, and I don't want to run out of power mid-thing. But no, I'll probably switch to something else in like an hour. So I'll probably get like a few games of this in, and then I'll switch to something I can tolerate, you know, because I can already tell my mood is not going to enjoy this trash. Look at this input reading. Oh, it's so bad. I can't even move. It is almost 10 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't do anything there because the AI just went, now we're going to input readings that counter, and then we're just going to instantly knock you down.
2, 3,
Well, I've lost this fight. That's fun.
5, 6,
Woo!
7.
So fun, this game. So enjoyable. Yeah, I might literally just get 3 games of this in and then just go to a different game because I can already tell what this is going to be like. I just feel like this game needs a massive overhaul in how it does its career mode because the fact that I'm pretty sure I'm not even in the top, like, 30 yet, and I've got, like, people who are, like, 10, 20 overalls higher than me as my average opponent. And I'm literally having to look for the lowest overall possible. And these people blatantly aren't statted in a way that they should be. And I can very clearly tell they're lying about their stats. Since this game proclaims this guy's, like, a 60-something overall, while I'm, like, a 50-something. And this guy fights like he's a 70. At the minimum. So yeah, I could tell these stats are not at all honest, you know? Like, I could tell these stats are not at all legitimate in any single way, shape, or form. So I'm just going to exploit against him because I can't be really bothered with an AI that's just going to cheese, like, the infinite cheese combos that everyone uses online. Like, you want to know where people learn their cheese from? It's from this kind of trash. Every offline AI on the career mode just exploits the same 2 combos. Oh, wait, what? It was a 3-rounder, 4-round... Wait, we did 6 rounds. Well, whatever, he won. Oh, well. Who cares? Don't care. Move on. Cheeseball fight is cheeseball fight. Don't care. Move on. Like, I might ramble about how much I dislike fighting in this game, and I do. But in all honesty, I play this just because of how amusingly bad it is. Like, occasionally you just gotta play really trash games to understand how good the good games are, you know? But that's the honest thing. Sometimes you gotta play these really trash games to just get what you're missing. Like, I appreciate Elden Ring a billion times more because of games like this existing. Like, I don't put Elden Ring as my top game full time. Never will. But when you have games like this, Elden Ring is a masterpiece. Like, I'd rather play FIFA or, like, Madden at this point or something like that. I'd rather play one of those super corny games at this point, you know? Because it's just so boring how badly designed a lot of this game is. Because, like, there's only so much I can do, really, to realistically make this fair. And I'm injured. Woo! Oh, well. It's not like I have any punch power anyway, is it? Okay, so I've got to just go in with a very cautious mentality. My top game full time. Ooh, that's hard. Well, it depends on the genre because there's quite a few games I would rate really highly. Like, I'd rate Virtual Pro Wrestling, if you're going really old school, as one of the best, like, sports games with its Japanese wrestling. That's pro wrestling, of course, or pro res if you're into Japanese stuff. I'd rate that game, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, very highly. But would I say that's my top game? Not sure. There's also, like, Here Comes the Pain. Obviously, if you're a classic PS2 kid, you know what Here Comes the Pain is. Probably one of the best wrestling games of all time, and I grew up on that kind of stuff. I would also say probably the really old school Pro Evolution Soccer and FIFA games are really good as well. Like, the really old ones. Not the modern ones. Like, this is, like, back in the really, really early days, you know? Back in the 010s, you know? Back in the 10s. The 2010 era kind of games were pretty good. I would have to say Spider-Man Web of Shadows had issues, but I really like that game too. Like, definitely. Really solid game, I would say. probably one of the reasons I actually like the Venom character from the Spider-Man series would have to be Web of Shadows. Because it's just like, it made the symbiote come out so cool that it was very hard not just to choose the symbiote choices because of how cool the symbiote was. And it was probably one of the best crossover games. And it may have not had the greatest story, but the gameplay was top notch if you really knew how to do it.
Do your business.
I would have to say there was quite a few games like out there that I really just enjoyed. Not because they were like a masterpiece, but because they were just like stuff I grew up when I was young. And so it really, like, became just sort of the backbone of my childhood, you know? And I feel like it's very hard not to, like something that's, like, the backbone of childhood. That's why I really don't say anything's perfect, but I'll say there's games I really like. So I can't really think of a game that I would call my best game. But if I was to really try and put a game in my top rated, I would have to say probably Noah 2. If I was just to say mechanically as a game, what I would rate my highest game, it would have to be Noah 2. Because I love the weapon stances in that game. Like, I feel like it has some of the greatest evolution of that sort of FromSoft formula that you could do. Since it gives you multitude of weapons, different stances to use the weapons in. Like, feel like Wukong, but with more weapon variety. And each stance has, like, a unique moveset to it. And it really encourages, like, crafty... And in my opinion, it probably has one of the best magic systems. With the Omnio magic system, I really like that. So I would have to say, if I'm putting a game right on the top, and I'm just trying to be purely, like, just what game would I go back to every once in a while? I would have to say Noah 2. Just purely because it has such a smooth system. Is there better games? Probably. Is there games I like more? Probably. But if there's just a game that solidly sticks in that, like, top 3-5 games for me, it would have to be, like, Noah 2. Like, just solidly. I don't think there's really a game I could realistically say is just such a consistently good game, you know? Also, I need to get a new controller because this controller seems to be on its way out. Like, it's got massive stick drift in, like, its movement stick. So I probably need to get, like, a new one out there. Maybe start whacking in some power shots to the body might slow him down. That's if my punch doesn't just get deleted when it very clearly connected. That's the issue. He just doesn't want to get aggressive. He just weave spams and then just runs away. And you can't really do much against him because of the way he fights, making him super obnoxious. Because anytime I get one shot in, this dude, like, does, like, legit, this glitch is gotta go. I need to get a new controller. Okay, that's something to put on my list. New controller. Got it. Lovely. I've only had this for, like, a year, and it's already got stick drift. Lovely. That's such a good controller design for Sony. At this point, I'd rather just get an old PS4 controller, because while they got stick drift eventually, they're cheaper. And they generally just are more reliable. Like those old school PS4 ones. Like, I swear, the newer the controllers get, the more broken they become very quickly.
And box.
It's just like, it's kind of hilarious. Again, I'm not sure how we dodged that attack, but sure game. I'm just gonna keep power shotting your body. Okay. I'm having to really focus up here, so sorry if I seem to, like, have my brain just disappear into rambling a bit more often than usual. Because this is the nonsense AI, where it's like... you sort of are required to, like, really focus up because of how cheap they are. Like, I'm hoping they, like, fix this, like, the punch animations and stuff, so they are a bit more accurate. But I feel like these problems are going to exist just because of their reliance on how the accuracy of punches is done. Because I feel like the punch accuracy is static alone in how it works currently is what breaks half the animations. And just the inconsistency of movement. Like, where sometimes you will blatantly dodge something in the game's like, nah, that actually connected. And then sometimes you will not hit some... And then sometimes you'll hit something in the game's like, nope. So it's just like, it's super inconsistent. And it's not impossible once the AI starts using weaves to really do anything against them. Like, unless you get lucky and they just start being a moronic person.
That's time!
I don't even know if you can. I don't even know if it's possible to get an old controller anymore.
Let's do it!
Like, somehow I'm winning on points, so I'll take the point. I guess it's because he's just missing so many that the game's just decided, yeah, you're winning purely because he's just missing. So it's like the game just being merciful on the fact that I can get him to miss so much. But the issue is I can't really do anything to him, so I'm just having to try and get him to whiff. That's my entire strategy, is to make him whiff so much that I can get, like, just enough hits in that I get the point. Which is a realistic strategy, but it's just really obnoxious when you know the AI is just weave spamming and backstepping, and that's the only reason you can't do anything else. Like, it's not the fact that he has better stats than you, it's not the fact that he has a better strategy than you, it's that he's abusing something that's known to be broken in the game. And the fact that his stats are very dishonest. Since he's meant to be like a 70-something overall, and then he acts like he's an 80 overall. Or he's meant to be a 60 overall, and he acts like he's a 70 overall. Like, it's really dull. It's, like, really dull game design. Because I don't mind a little stupid AI, as long as it doesn't feel like there's, like, nothing I can do purely because I don't have ridiculously high damage stats. Because I know if I had, like, punch power behind my things, like, if I had, like, 80 punch power and I just slapped everything in the punch power doing this, it wouldn't matter my speed, because I would know, like, a good 5-10 power shots would pretty much mean I have it under wraps. But because I don't have that, it pretty much feels like I am handicapping myself. Which is why I've sort of slowed down my ascent of the rankings, and instead I'm trying to fight people who are lower ranked than me now. Because the game's just become so obnoxious with how the AI is behaving that I sort of have to slow my ascent up.
Time!
Yep, that is pretty much how the game is. It is common.
Let's go.
And that's why people go, oh, it's just desync online. It's more than desync online. It is legit. I've had punches when the game was at its worst where I would miss by a mile and still connect. And it was ridiculous. Like, it's not the worst error of the AI, but it is really bad. Like, it used to be worse. That's the scary thing. This used to be worse. Ironic, since the beta of this game, like, the connection rate was really good. So I don't honestly understand what happened to it. Oh, geez, he's punching me in the head, so I need to sort of be careful. Like, they had such a better system with, like, the vulnerability system. And I don't get why they got rid of the vulnerability. I know there were some bugs, but it was like, this is a beta. Not a beta, this is early access, so I don't get why they got rid of the vulnerability system completely. They could have just tuned it down and then slowly reworked it. But they just got rid of it entirely, pretty much making certain playstyles just useless because people were just crying about how, oh, some people could knock you out in a certain way, when it's like it's not changed how people play the game at all. People still spam, people still abuse certain combos that are glitchy, people still like abuse long reach characters, people still abuse characters with certain movement kinks to them or certain punch animations. So it's not like anything's been fixed by removing the vulnerability system. All you've done is get rid of my ability to really counter that kind of play style. Which is kind of sad because the vulnerability system was sort of what made this game stand out. So I know they're going to add it back in, apparently. But it's just like, as time goes by, my will to play this game decreases to the point where I'm like, sure, I'll check out the full release, but I'm not sure I'll stick around long.
And time.
Because of just how dull a lot of it is.
And box.
Like how it feels that... Like, I don't mind punches not always perfectly connected, but when the AI just abuses stuff that you can't really punish because you don't have, like, 90 power. And you can see they just go step forward, straight, uppercut, step forward, straight, uppercut, step forward, straight, uppercut, hook, back, step, jab, jab. And that's all they do. And you're just like, well, what am I meant to do now? And also the fact he's just spamming power body hook over and over. It's, like, really dull. Like, I could just spend the whole game doing this. Like, realistically, I could just do this the entire game, and I would win easy. I could just do this against the AI. And even if he dodges, he can't do anything against me. So I could literally just do this again and again the entire game. But does this sound fun? Does this look fun? Like, me just doing this the entire game? Like, does this look really fun to you? Like, instead of actually trying to weave my way into his guard, does this look fun? Like, I'll just do the entire round like this, just so you can realize how stupid this is. Like, the fact that this is a working strategy. Because I don't make claims without, like, evidence. I've been playing since the beta of this game. I know what I'm talking about. And people might not like what I'm saying, but this is stupid. Because I know a lot of people will defend some of the decisions about this game till they are thrown off a cliff, but this is not how the game should be. It should not be like this. Like, this is pretty much how everyone plays. Like, this is pretty much how everyone plays, yeah? It should not be like this. It shouldn't be same side spam. It shouldn't be step forward, step back, step forward, step back. It should not be like this at all. And the fact that it is ridiculous. I'm not sure who won. Oh, I won. Okay. But you see my point. Like, let's look at this final round. I just started spamming. Like a noob. That's my point about this game. Now, that shouldn't be a thing. It's literally just jab, step back straight, jab, step back straight, jab, step back straight, hook, 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 hook. And that's pretty much how the game wants you to play currently, because the animation and the vulnerability is completely built around this kind of system to the point where it really just ruins. Yeah, and this, I'm going to be honest, if my teacher told me to do something that broke the game that I worked to make, I would tell him to go jog on, in all honesty. Because, in all honesty, if your teacher's telling you to add stuff that breaks what you've done and doesn't actually realize that, then why are they a teacher? Like, I've had teachers like this before in school where they legit tell you to do things that make no sense, and you tell them that it makes no sense and they get all huffy about it. Anyway, 1 second, I need to flip this on because it's getting hot what I was previously wearing, so I'm just going to slip back into something better. But yeah, I'm probably going to do like 1 or 2 more games and then I'm going to hop on something else, so I'll probably switch over to stream soon. And the thing is, it's like the game probably looked better. Like, if you go look at my previous streams and you see the games where I could like slip around punches constantly and I was weaving it aside and throwing counter hooks, that probably looks so much more interesting than what this is. Like, if I went play tactical boxing, which I might just do in a second, just to, like, show that game. Just to show you sort of how that game works. And it's not the greatest game of all time, but the point I'm making is I probably could show you that game, and it would look more interesting than this. I'll fight this dude. 12 weeks training. So I'll fight this guy twice, and that'll be the end of this. That's my view. Okay, give me a 50-50. And we're gonna... I can't even train because I got no money. I'm just gonna focus on punch speed. I don't care. Okay. I guess... health will be a thing to focus on. I'll just focus on health for this, because I have, like, no health. Yeah, that's the issue. It's like, the people have been telling the devs what to do to fix this game for, like, over a year. Like, and they've only just started listening now. Like, people told them to change the block system. People told them to change the punch system. And the thing is, instead of letting people actually test the new system, they are literally waiting until the full release. So, for all we know, this new punch system on full release could be a broken mess of a system that doesn't work at all. And because the devs pretty much refuse to, like, actually let us test it, even though that's the whole point of early access, it's ridiculous, you know? It's ironic how I could play, like, an equal amount of games. So I could play, like, 3-4 games on tactical boxing and probably enjoy that more than I enjoy most games on this, because really, you get 3 modes of AI. You get input read to the moon, you get super spammy, or you get no aggression at all, where they just hide in the corner and try and counterpunch you. And it's like, there's no nuance to how these AI fight. There's no trying to pepper you with jabs, moving around you, like the snapping out jabs. There's no just going in, trying to get like a body shot, headshot, uppercut combo. There's none of that. There's no nuance to how the AI fight, which is ironic since they've had real boxers do the mocap. So you think, oh, so they should have like the people come in and just give them some boxing tactics, but apparently not. Like, I think this might be a little more of a tolerable AI because he's not like super overstated, so I can actually try and realistically fight him. I think the big issue is they want their gameplay to be too fast, and I feel like if they just slow down the gameplay a bit, it would actually be healthier for the game. Because this already feels like 20 times better to play, because the punches actually move at like a feasible to deal with speed. You know? Like, it might not look as flashy, but it definitely feels better because I'm actually able to weave within his guard and close range fight him without feeling like I'm going to get annihilated in 1 second, you know? And they just work, like, that's the thing. I feel like the speed, the way they've done it, it's like, it's a bit too fast in some instances to the point where you just can't react to stuff. And sometimes I feel like you need to give away a bit of realism for balance of the game. So sure, someone might be like, well, he's this fast in real life, but is that fun to play? That's the question. There's a reason why Fight Night 3, even though it's not the fastest game, it's considered like one of the best boxing games of all time. You know? There's a reason Fight Night 4 has a similar thing, even though it's not the fastest game in the universe, you know? Because I can actually react to these punches. So it's ironic that when I fight lower level punches, sure, it's easier to do, but that's not why I enjoy it. It's because I can actually play within the guard without just running away and spamming out range like exploits like backstep straight. I can actually like fight within the guard, and if I'm careless, I still get beaten. That's the difference here. Like, this is 20 times more enjoyable for me because I actually feel like I can weave his punches. I can actually use the mechanic. Oh, it has multiplayer. Do not play this on multiplayer. It's worse on multiplayer. Literally, you want to know what multiplayer is? Uppercut, 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 uppercut. Backstep straight, backstep straight, backstep straight. Spam one combo. Hook, 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 hook. It's just exploit galore. That's all people do. There is no legit players online. You will not find fair players online. Everyone just uses exploits. Everyone just uses cheese. Any players who want to play simulation, they're generally part of, like, tight-knit communities where they only play private games with people who want to play like them. You do not very often find players who want to play legit in this game. And also to desync online is a miserable experience. Like, I have a clip, I'll show you a clip after this fight of, like, my experience generally, if I can find it, with, like, players online. Like, I'll see if I can find the clip. Like, after this fight. Because if I can find the clip, then I'll definitely send that over. But just look how much more interesting this is when I'm actually able to dodge inside the pocket. Like, this actually looks like I'm boxing here. You know? Like, this actually looks like a boxing game. Like, sure, not perfect, but when you're actually at a slower pace and you're inside the pocket, the game actually looks tolerable. You know? You feel like you're actually playing an actual game, you know? Especially when you're using the weave a lot. It actually feels like you're playing a game that has some thought put into it. So I think the issue is this game is not designed for the speed it's at. I feel like that's actually the real issue. Is the game, the movement's too fast and the punches are too fast a lot of the higher levels. So I feel like that's actually what's damaging the game. Because I don't think there would be much issue if this game was constantly at this speed. Because you can already see, like, the game just flows more mechanically well when you're at a slower pace. But mechanics don't glitch as much. They function a lot better. So I definitely feel like it's just not accounting for the high speed of, like, higher statted fighters. Like, when you're at slower stats, you definitely notice, like, the game functions a lot better, is what I find. And you can still make the game difficult while at this speed. Like, that's the thing, you can still make this game difficult. Like, it doesn't make this game fake easy, you know? Like, all you have to do is add a risk to flash KOs being more prominent if you're not careful, and pretty much that would give the AI a way to really put you off guard, have AI be a bit more smart with how they throw their punches, so if they see you're not engaging, they might try and bait you with a feint or something. Or, like, they might try and weave into a punch to make it awkward for you to counter. Or they might throw less combos and then wait for you to counter with a bait jab and then throw a full combo. That's what they really have to do. Like, instead of making the game faster, making the game more, like, flashy, I feel like they need to focus on the fundamentals. Like this stuff. The real in-close. Trying to, like, figure out how stuff should work. Like, in the close range. Because it just feels so much more fun when you play like this. It might not look as flashy. It might not look as flashy as just throwing a billion punches. But I would rather have this in my simulation game than what we currently have, you know? Like, this actually feels like I'm in some form of a boxing game. Sure, it's got some issues here and there. But it feels much more like a boxing game than what we currently have, you know? It feels much more like a boxing game at this pace than when you're at, like, a higher, faster speed. And I feel like that's the real issue that a lot of people won't acknowledge, is that the game is not designed to handle this speed. It's not designed to handle the level of movement that the higher stat. As soon as you get into, like, 60, high 60s to 70, the speed starts breaking the game mechanics. And that's the issue. Look at that, I can actually duck these punches. You can actually realistically duck and weave these punches in reaction. You don't have to really worry about anything. So you can really play any way you want. And if you're facing another real human, they're obviously not going to make these same mistakes. That's the point I'm making. It's like, it actually feels like you're in a fight. And sure, there should be moments where there is speed, but there's perks for that. Or, like, you could have unique You could actually have the sidestep movement actually, you know, be useful for speed. So you actually use momentum. Or, you know, you use this to speed up your punch. Because this is how I'm speeding up my punches to a better speed. Is I'm leaning into the direction the punch comes from. So my punch has less distance to travel. I'm leaning the direction I need to go. So my punch has less distance to travel. That's the thing. This is actual things people do in actual boxing. Sure, I'm not the best person to, like, realistically display a boxer, but I at least somewhat understand, you know? Compared to what you usually see. And look how much just mechanically more interesting this is compared to that previous fight, when I'm fighting someone who's actually, like, fighting at an interesting pace, and you're actually, like, feeling like their fights could realistically work around the swaying, the movement, using, you can actually be within the close range to avoid punches, but you can't be too careless about it, or you could get your block knocked off. Like, this is so much more mechanically just actually functional. I would say it's a bit easy, obviously, but there would be ways to make the AI more difficult in this kind of state. That's the point I'm making, you know? That's the point I'm making. Sure, it's like the AI is a bit laughably easy because he's lower stat, but there would be ways to realistically make this harder, you know? Flash knockouts. AI's knowing better combination. Knowing how to bait in an attack. So they might go in, feint the jab, and then whack you with an uppercut. As a counter, like they might lean back off a feint jab and just uppercut, because currently feints just don't work. So if they had feints working in this game, you could get the AI to feint a jab and then smash you with a power straight, and that could rock you. Like if there was actual power in this game. Because when you're at slower pace, you can actually weave around the midsection, like the actual just slightly out of danger zone to sort of like counter punch. You know, you can actually be an outboxer. You can sort of just sit on the outside of your opponent's offense and then snap in with a good snappy counter. And you don't really have to worry about the game's realism level, you know? Because you're not going to get spammed by anything super unrealistic, because the AI isn't going to just be doing this over and over. It's not just going to be doing this over and over and then this every 2 seconds. Which is pretty much the common trait of all high-statted AI. And you can actually play as someone without power in this kind of state, because you don't have to worry about the game just spamming you to death, you know? And if you want someone to be a volume puncher, you can have that, but you just balance it out by having them not have ridiculous damage behind their punches and not being able to just flee out of range without actually having a plan of escape. Because currently, you can flee back as a fast, high-stat fighter without a plan of escape, you know? Because you can just backstep straight to get out of all offense, which is an issue. Because it pretty much completely negates any infighting. This general channel. Pretty much 9% of what I do here is rant and yamble like an old man, you know? Like, I'm a petty person. Again, like, you should have seen my Wukong stream yesterday, where I got annoyed at Yin Tiger and how stupid its thing was. Like, oh, that's a rant for after this fight. I'm not going to start ranting about Yin Tiger while fighting, because I'll lose all concentration, because that fight actually upset me. Like, with how bad it was. Because it's just like, I don't think I've ever seen such a terrible boss fight outside of Shadow Tree Avatar and Promised Consort Radahn. They're the only fights that have equally in the past 3-4 years upset me that hard. I don't think there's a boss equal to how much I despise it, you know? I don't think there's a boss even close. But that's like for after this, so I can actually explain that. But I do love how, like, these lower level fights allow you to actually play as someone with no knockout power, so you can actually functionally play the game as a point scorer and a fundamental boxer. So I can actually just work the body with jabs and straights and not have to, like, cheese to win. But you can see I'm still taking damage in this fight. Like, if he just had a little more power, like, I would have to be much more cautious. And that's really how you would make these high-level fights more difficult, is just punch power. But it wouldn't be, like, unplayable because of how fast they punch. Anyway, that's the end of that fight. So anyway, as I was saying about Yin Tiger, yeah? So, Yin Tiger is it's a boss. I will say that. So this boss has a multitude of issues. It is a optional boss, so that's one point in its favor because you don't have to fight it technically. There is some things you may want that are useful that you can get for fighting Yin Tiger. It was 4 in the morning. That's unfortunate. Yeah, like, I'm on English time. Sorry about that. But no, as I was saying with Yin Tiger. So, it's an optional boss, but there is some things you would want to fight him for that you can get. Like, an armor set, I believe, is locked behind him. And I believe a certain upgrade is locked behind him. So, there is that. So, you do really feel like you might want to fight him purely just because of the fact you can upgrade armor through him and other stuff. But the issue with his fight is the fact that, one, he is immune to immobilization completely. This alone would not be an issue, except from the fact it sets him into doing his teleportation sequence. And in his teleportation sequence, he has a near undodgeable attack, because you actually have to remember the timing for it, because it has no visual proper cue outside of seeing the mist go up, but with how quickly the attack comes out, it's very hard to react to. This alone wouldn't be an issue if he didn't have undodgeable grabs. Or near, well, it technically is dodgeable, but it's like that dodgeable where it's like very quotation marks because of how its hitbox works. So pretty much either you have to run away and hope he doesn't teleport directly on top of you with his grab, which means you can't avoid it, or you have to get lucky and hope you are in a completely invulnerable dodge state with a perfect dodge. If you do not do either, you're about to have half your health bar to 3/4 just deleted off the bat. And that is around about his, he does that around a third of his health missing. And he can do that around about twice, I believe. Once or twice. That alone would not be an issue if all of his slash attacks off his teleports didn't also have bugged hitboxes, where their hitbox lingers around way too long. Because you can dodge the attack, you can see the attacks visually done, but then there's a little after effect that will still hit you. It's pretty much Promise Consort Radahn's issue, only Promise Consort Radahn is actually more balanced in this sense, because you actually can see what's hitting you half the time. This boss does it in a way where you don't even know what's hit you off the slash. And one of those slashes can send you flying into the air, leaving you in a stun stay on the ground, meaning that as you get up, he's already in the air, breaking your line of sight, breaking the camera, so you have to remember the timing to dodge his down slam that has a little bit of AoE on it. And this alone, all of this alone, is enough to make this an obnoxious fight. No, this boss doesn't have the parry skill locked behind him. The stone form, this is a completely different Tiger boss, by the way. I'm not even on about the Tiger from the main story. I'm on about one that's hidden in Chapter 3 as an optional. This is a completely different Tiger boss. This is like some Grey Wolf Tiger thing, you know? Like, it's not the Stone Tiger dude. Like, that boss is easy as pie in comparison. This boss is like actual cancer. Like, I would rather fight the Stone Tiger 20,000 times in comparison to this, because I actually like the Stone Tiger fight. Yin Tiger, though, is a cancer ball that is unacceptable. This is like an optional boss in Chapter 3 in a painted world, where you open a scroll and you get sucked in and you have to challenge him to a duel. And it's like, his arena also is just so awkward that if you're ever backed against the wall, you might as well give up, because he's just going to spam you to death. And then his desperation state just turns him into the most obnoxious spammy thing. No, not in the well. Like, that, not that fight. Okay, I'll see if I can quickly, let me turn this off. I'll see if I can find the fight. Let me open my internet, yeah? Let me open my internet. Give me a second so I can show you the fight from my stream. Okay, so, open a new tab. So it's a lone tab. YouTube. Let me see if I can find this fight quickly for you. Okay. Okay, let me sign out quickly because I don't want to be logged into my YouTube on this anyway. Let me open my account so I can show you my fight. No, wrong button. That's not the one I want to look up. Okay, let's see if I can... Okay, I believe it's from my 110% monkey stream. Okay, this should be it from my 110% monkey stream. And I can turn it to HD quality, and let's see if I can find Yin Tiger. Oh, this is the dude. I think the quality is a bit sketchy for some reason. I'm not sure if that's on my end. Okay, so this is the dude. And I'm not sure why my quality is bad. No, not fit to screen. Okay. I'm not sure why my quality is bad here, but this is from my 100% monkey stream. And this is the dude. Input eat much. Oh, 1 second. Let me mute my audio so you don't hear double voice. And this is from my 110% monkey stream. And you challenge this dude to a fight. And you go in and you fight him. And he has a parry thing. But watch this. As soon as I hit him, that is the only reason I go away with it is because my charge attack staggers him. If I went for a regular attack, he would have been a nightmare. Obviously, I am not used to his combos. But you can see that After Effects Slash, that has a really jank hitbox. You see the weird... And also that shoulder tackle is nigh undodgeable. But you see how bad the camera is in this fight? This phase is somewhat easy to deal with. He's not really a nightmare. But it's when he starts doing this that you really get awkward with him. Because his delay is just so hard and he constantly breaks the camera. So I'm sort of just having to be like, okay, concentrate because he's breaking my camera. Thankfully, I was far enough away to dodge this. But you can see already, not a terrible boss. If it was this alone, it wouldn't be a bad boss, you know. This alone doesn't ruin the fight. This stuff is fine. I don't have an issue with any of this. All of this is fine. Everything here is fine on this boss. Like, he's perfectly fine doing all of this. I don't mind delay attacks. I don't mind his teleportation. It is what he will do at certain points in the fight. That slam is unreactable. You just saw that slam down? That's because he's going after my duplicates. I didn't get hit by that. The one where he just smashes his sword down the ground. That is straight up unreactable. You have to know that's coming beforehand. And I'm having to really awkwardly dodge everything here because of just how wonky it feels to, like, I couldn't even dodge there. So that was just a guaranteed hit on his part. This is what and then unreactable dodge. This is what I was on about. Let me slow this down for you so you can see why I hate this boss. This is my issue with this boss. This attack is why I hate it. Look at that. Look at that. This is why I dislike this boss. This is what ruins the fight. This alone is what ruins this fight. Nothing else about it is an issue. It's this. He literally just teleports me into his grip. And look how much damage this does. And this alone really just ruins the fight. If it was this one attack and the slam that was unreactable was removed, he would be a perfectly fine fight. But this attack alone ruins it. Because how am I meant to react to that? Either I have to perfect dodge it, which is really hard because its window to perfect dodge is microscopic, or I just get hit by that. And I just want to point out how much range this attack has again. Let's just rewind so you can see how stupid the range on this attack is. Like, look at him. He's starting to teleport in. I'm running. And he just teleports right on top of me. I realistically think I'm out of the grip. And I still get caught. This ruins the fight. This is what makes me so mad about this boss. Because I complain about other stuff, but this exasperates every issue with this boss so much, so heavily. They just... And look how much damage it does. Like, if I hadn't buffed my health so heavily with upgrades, I would get one shot. This would just be a straight up one shot if I hadn't been buffing my health, you know? That is what the issue is. It's an undodgeable attack unless you perfect dodge. You can't outrun it unless you get lucky. If you're against the wall, you can't avoid it. That's the issue with this attack, is that's what ruins it. Like, I'll see if I can find the run where I beat him. Like, where's the run where I beat him? I think this is it. But this fight is just absolute cancer. You can see, like, I get caught by this attack nearly every time because it is literally a straight up RNG simulator. That's half my health bar. And then you're sort of trying to dodge that, and the perfect dodge is kind of wonky. That combos into itself sometimes. That's not consistent. And that's the issue. It feels like with this boss, it's just a massive RNG simulator. And that's why I don't like him. I would be fine if he was just consistent. But he's got multiple different time delayed attacks. So all of his attacks are super delayed and they're all delayed at different timings. Which makes him so a really obnoxious boss to fight. You can't really immobilize him because as soon as I hit him in immobilization, he will teleport unless like you do a stagger attack on him. He has the parry mechanic, which is already super strong. He has multiple delayed hits, which are at different speeds. He has, like, massively RNG-based grabs. He pretty much punishes most forms of aggression, which is weird for this game. Considering, you know, this game's sort of designed around aggression. This attack, I was only able to dodge because I was already out of range of it. That attack is obnoxious to dodge because of how its timing's located. And then that just breaks the camera and I couldn't even see what was going on. And he follows it into immediately multiple delayed attacks that I just dodge spam to hopefully avoid, and I just use my heal to tank that last one. But you see why this boss has so many issues. Like, how am I meant to react to half this stuff without, like, fighting him a dozen times? It's pretty much a fight where you're forced to learn patterns rather than react in the moment, completely killing the spirit of the game. Because before this point, every enemy was an in-the-moment reaction. That's my problem with him. Before this point, every enemy was in the moment, in the second. You didn't really have to overtly learn something. You just had to be aware of your surroundings, aware of what they were doing, understand the mechanics, and that was it. It was based on your skill, not your ability to adapt to your opponent's, like, design. It was more like an on-the-moment type thing. And at this point, I just gave up and would let him kill me. Because it was like, he was just so obnoxious to fight. And so we go in here. I finally get him back to low health. I'm not sure if this is the time I kill him. I'm not going to stay on this forever, so I'll just pause that and switch back. But that's my issue with this boss. It's not that he's cheap or something. It's that he feels like this pure RNG as a boss. Like, he feels like RNG is the boss. And that's what ruins him. Is that, like, I don't like a boss that just feels like I'm fighting RNG. Because, like, if I feel like the enemy I'm fighting, I'm not fighting them with their learning their moveset. I'm just trying to avoid these really delayed attacks with lots of, like, questionable hitboxes with an unavoidable grab. And he actually has 2 unavoidable grabs, by the way. Where you just get RNG on whether it hits or not. And so it just ruins the fight. It completely ruins the fight, you know? And I'm sorry if I ranted a bit there. Like, I didn't want to... That's why I didn't want to be in a match when talking about Yin Tiger. Because he's just not a fun fight. Yin Tiger is just not enjoyable. In any way, shape, or form. And I'm sorry I ranted so hard there. My apologies. Like, it's just... I can't stand that boss. He is everything wrong with, like, that game design, where you just have the enemy be a bunch of delayed attacks with undodgeable grabs. And that's really what ruins it. It's like the sky launch, the undodgeable grab, and the weird pillar slam. If those attacks weren't in his moveset, he would be a perfectly fine challenging boss. But those just push him more and more up the intolerable ladder to the point where I'm just like, I don't like this boss. And I'm not saying you're not allowed to like it. I'm not saying you're not allowed to find it a fun fight. I'm just saying, personally, I can't tolerate that kind of game design when it's like in a game where it's very clearly the camera and the mechanics very clearly aren't allowing you to properly react in a fair way. Maybe if I had, like, I believe its no voids ability can allow you to dodge it consistently, but overall, Yin Tiger is a fight that I just find cancerous. Anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about that. I don't want to talk about Yin Tiger anymore. I'm just explaining why I dislike that fight. That's really all I got to say on it. Let's get like 1 or 2 more games of this in, and then we can wrap up the stream, and I'll probably go grab something to eat and then do another stream, because it's almost 11, so I'll probably grab like a sandwich to eat, get a new like drink, and then I'll do something else. Like, I'll probably do like maybe a Noah 2 stream like after eating. Excusez-moi. So I do want to play some Noah 2, because Noah 2's fun. Like, I have some issues with, like, certain things in Noah 2, but I generally like that game in its totality. There's only, like, one mission in Noah 2 I actively dislike. And that's just because the mission's kind of boring more than it's bad. It's just a boring mission. And that's, like, a really late game mission anyway. It's, like, I think it's, like, the 3rd to final mission in the game's just, like, really boring in that game. But everything else is, like, really good. So I'll probably play some Noah 2 after this, maybe for like an hour or 2, get like a mission or 2 knocked out, or like a mission. That's what I'm thinking. So I'll probably do 2 more games of this, eat something, get a drink, maybe some water or like some lemonade. Or some apple squash. Then I'll play some Noah 2, and then I'll probably be done for today. Like, I've definitely been streaming a lot more than I usually would. But that's just, like, mainly because I've definitely been streaming more, but that's just because I've been a bit more inspired to play games recently. Anyway, time to rematch this dude. Oh, nice. He's Oh, nice counters. Gotta be careful right here because he's working the block. Oh, nice combos. Like, yeah, this game's so much more fun when it's just at a slower pace, because you actually feel like you're playing you actually feel like you're fighting, rather than just trying to deal with, like, some artificial spam. Like, it feels like you can wear someone down at these lower, like, difficulty fights. And they're not even lower difficulty, because if you gave him a little more punch power, he would actually be pretty scary to deal with if I was just being recklessly aggressive, you know? The only reason that, like, here I can stand in front of him is because his punch power is just a little too low. If his punch power was any higher, like, I would actually be in danger. So I would rather just slow down the pace. That would be my argument. This game needs to slow down its pace, like, in its totality, and just have more fights like this in terms of speed. Oh, nice slip. I really don't want to be... Oh, I really don't want to be trading those headshots. You see what I mean? Like, I can still, if I'm careless, get rocked. And I imagine if, like, as you got deeper and they got stronger punch power, like, I would definitely be stuck in this kind of situation more often than not if I was careless. So it would actually encourage me to be less aggressive. Like, that's the thing. Like, the accuracy being more accurate at lower speeds means that the game very much becomes much more dangerous. Because you imagine this guy, if you like gave him like 10% more punch power, like how dangerous he would be. Like just how dangerous this dude would be with 10% more punch power. That would be like a menace to society. Yeah, I just like finding lower overalls. I feel like in this game, lower overalls are more fun because they're not just blitzing you constantly with like really obnoxiously broken speed and like backstepping all the time. You actually feel like you're in somewhat of a fight here. Obviously, AI issues where they'll punch spam for no reason, even when they're gassed and they keep punching. But still, like, I get caught off guard because you just think they're going to be easy and then they catch you with like something that's like, oh, half my health bars is gone. That's what I mean. It's like, it's not as easy as it looks, you know? But sometimes I actually, like, look at that. I don't think that was a power shot I just walked into. So yeah, you can make much more risky decisions here. And if they fix flash knockouts, that would actually make getting caught randomly by a punch much more dangerous, so you would actually be more careful about what you engage with. Because if flash knockouts were more common, I would have probably been out cold there, realistically. I honestly think I should have been. Just because he caught me with, like, as I was coming in with a direct, like, pump to the face with, like, just brutality on it. But for some reason, the game just decides, nah, he doesn't get... And that's the time where I'm like, yeah, the AI should have knocked me out properly, or at least knocked me down or rocked me, and the game's just like, nope. You know? So I don't just complain when the game disfavors me, because, like, right there, the AI should probably have got me. And that would actually encourage players to play smarter, you know? If, like, that kind of risk was real and the pacing wasn't so fast that you could guarantee your run away from them. Ooh, I gotta be careful with my body. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, the wind attack tornado is like straight up cancer. I hate it.
Let's go.
Oh, and I'm losing here, so I need to start turning up the pace, you know? So it's really time to start digging into that body because he's whacking me hard. So time to turn it up. But you just see how much more playable this game is when it's at slower pace. Well, you can actually slip hooks as well, which is usually impossible at higher speed. Unless you're already sort of got the pre-done thing in. Oh, that was a nice slip right there, micro slip. Oh, nice. Nice weave. Got out of my punch range because I have no arm length. I gotta be careful, that damage is building up. Ooh, my body. I definitely think I got the points in this round. So I probably could realistically let wean out a bit. But no, that's fine if you have to leave for a sec. Like, I'm not holding you here, you know? If you got stuff to do, don't waste your time for me, you know? Like, real life is always more important than some random dude on the internet, you know? I always find it weird when people think that they owe their time. You don't owe me anything. If you want to leave, you're perfectly welcome to do your real life stuff if that's got precedent, you know? Like, I'm not going to be one of those guys who goes, oh, you have to stick around that. It's nice if you do pop in, like, even if it's for, like, 10 minutes for a quick talk. I'm perfectly fine with that. That makes me happy. Even if it's, like, 5 minutes or just a minute, just popping in to say hello. That's perfectly good by me, you know? Jeez, he's catching really low, these shots to the head. You see what I mean? These AIs can put the pressure on you. Ooh, ooh. You see what I mean when I say these AI can put the pressure on you? Quite a bit. Like right there. They're even at the slowest speed, like the AI is super dangerous. I don't trust my coach, so I want to get a good round in here. You know? I want to get a good round in. So I've got to be careful here. Because, sure, my coach usually is quite accurate, but it's still like... It's still like... The judges can be quite messy in this game, like the judging system is something else. So I definitely want to be careful. Not to like let him get a point in this round. Because that could literally be the difference between a win, a draw, or even a loss, depending. Because it does feel like some judges do just rewrite their decision based on like how the latest round's gone sometimes. So I definitely don't want to like give him too much of a lead on anything. Well, that was a nice counter right there. I was hoping for a liver knockdown, but apparently not. Oh, that was risky there. He caught me when low stamina. That could have been a knockout on my part. I've got to be careful. Let's give him a good few power shots to get some points up, you know? Oh, shoot, that was a low stamina. I didn't realize my stamina meter right there. Oh, I rocked him! Please! No! I actually got a rock! I can't believe it! And it's a draw. I knew it. I knew it would be a draw. I needed that knockdown. I needed it. I knew it. I was working so hard as well. And I need it. Ah, that's disappointing. So that has to be my most favorite fight I've had in this game yet. Like in this career mode. This has to be my most favorite fight that I've ever done. Like these lower level fighters, they're so much more fun to fight because it doesn't feel like you're just playing some meta cheese. It feels like you actually can take some time to use your brain, your movement. And that's why I think the game needs to slow down its pacing. Give people actual time to think and breathe so they can't just mash buttons, you know? It would add so much more life to the game. Like, that was so much more fun. That was so much more solid. It's like, why is the game not like this more often? You know? Why? That's like something I honestly will never understand. That's something I will never understand, you know? Sorry if my audio went weird for a second. I had to like quickly change a setting because I was noticing some frame drops. So sorry about that. That's just how it is sometimes. I don't get why I lost rankings for that fight. I guess they weren't happy that I decided not to go for the highest rank. But it's just like... Okay, so training bonus. Lovely. Ooh, frame rate. Okay, so who should I fight? I don't really want to fight someone who's high overall, you know? Because I need to get my stats up. And you can see everyone I have to fight otherwise would be like a monster. So I'm probably going to go with... I'll probably go with you. Just because you're somewhat within a sensible, like, radius of, like, health. And we won't do a rematch clause, but fight promotion's good. We'll probably mandate one media activity. And he accepts that. Ooh, audio's janked up. 1 second, let me fix that for you. I could hear that immediately, audio being off sync. There we go, that's better. Audio back in sync. I'm almost about to get my stats into a reasonable reach at least. I swear, my punch speed does not want to go into like the 80s. Finally, it's 80. Oh wow, I think I messed up. Oh no, mind, I am sluggish though, so I'm gonna have stamina issues, which is great. I'll probably make this the last fight of this, and then I'm gonna grab something to eat, and then I'll probably stream some Noah 2 after that. So I'll probably be gone for like half an hour. And then I'll be back. Since I'll probably just be getting like a sandwich, an apple, and probably something like that. Still, I'm shocked, like, these, like, legit, I tell you, these lower fights are so much better. It is honestly depressing how much better these lower stats fights are. In comparison to, like, fighting these higher tier people. It's just, like, I sit here and I'm, like, shaking my head half the time. I'm just shaking my head, like, with how much better it feels to play these lower overall fighters. Because I actually can do stuff. I actually can think and play the game and actually use my brain. Like, that's the thing with high-speed games, is I honestly think a lot of developers who are rushing towards this fast-pacedness in their games, especially games that require you to think more, so stuff that isn't just a hack and slash or something, is really what's ruining these games. Because you can't really think. Oh, I fought this dude before. I think I've fought him a few times, actually. But you can't really spend your time thinking, you know? Like, there's no moment to think about what you're doing. Because every single fight, it's just attack, attack, attack. With a lot of these people. It's the same like with Elden Ring. It's like, I feel like that's what really kills it for me. It's like just the pacing of that game. Like, it doesn't feel very fluid half the time. And that's because it's hard to make a fast-paced, fluid game that has real strategy in it. You can't really make strategy in a game where, like, a lot of it is just built around speed, fast aggression. Like, Bloodborne dealt with that well by having stuff like the rallying mechanic, where you didn't really have to worry about making mistakes, because you weren't ultra punished for being aggressive, because you could get your health back. And that's why I think Bloodborne is probably one of FromSoft's best games when it comes to like that, out of the like new generation, as I would call it, FromSoft games. So so pretty much Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. I haven't played any of like Sekiro, so I can't judge on Sekiro, but I hear that's good as well. But from what I've played, out of the 3 I've played, I would definitely say Bloodborne was mechanically the best. Oh wow, you enjoyed my ranting. Thanks, dude. At least one person enjoys my ranting. So that's something, I guess. I'll be honest. I get why a lot of people might not like my ranting. But it's nice to know someone likes it. Like, they say a picture paints a million words. Well, I guess a million words paints a picture. If we're gonna be like that. Ooh, I'm gassed. I'm so glad you can just whack me in the head with that. Yeah, I need to stop those straight. Well, I can't really stop those straight, so I am blind. Okay, let's try and just jab him out this. What happened to you there? That was a weird bug. He just froze in place. Man got caught in the whirlpool right there. Dio, are you in the crowd somewhere? Is this some Am I part of some unknown part of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right here? Man freezing time randomly. Oh well, I'll take advantage of that. That was hilarious though. I don't get what causes that bug, but sometimes people just freeze in place and it's so weird. Oh, that was a nice weave right there. Ooh, my health's kind of wonky, so I need to be careful right here. Oh, he's becoming aggressive now because he can sense my weakness. He can sense that I'm on my last legs in terms of his power. Too bad for him, I got these snappy jabs that I can just whip out. And with my punch speed now at 80, I can actually get some decent damage in with him. Against people who are a little more quick on the feet. But this guy's flurries definitely are a thing to be careful for. I just gotta pace out this round with my jab. Keep him at range. He's starting to weave my jab, so you know what? We can throw some punches for the end of the round. We can throw some punches for the end of the round. I don't know, I'm gonna kill.
Let's do it.
The health, so there's health bars that will sometimes pop up when you hit someone. Like you see when something says head, that's my blocking body, those are my health bars. Of course there is a hidden total health, but that generally is just completely ignored because it's not very well designed. But it's like head, body, and like block is pretty much that sometimes points up when you hit them. I can't see my opponent because in career mode on Undisputed difficulty, you can't see your opponent's health. It's the same online. You can't see your opponent's health. You only can see your own. So imagine if you fought Promised Consort Radahn, but you did see his health bar, but you can see your own health bar. That's pretty much how it works in the career mode of this game. Which makes sense, because it's a sport game. I shouldn't really be seeing my opponent's health bar. Oh, those are clean counters right there. Try and bait out a long punch. Come on. Throw something. Throw something. Come on. He's just not throwing now. He's just not throwing. Oh, there we go. Got something. I need to be aggressive. That's the issue. Because it says I need a knockdown to get some points back in. So I need to get him to bait into that jab so I can whack him for, like, hook after. But I have no punch power, so I need it to be consistent damage. But I can't get consistent damage if he's just never throwing, because the only way I can hit him is if he comes to me. Because look at my rear hook's accuracy, it's non-existent. Okay, so there's two ways to win. Either you win on points, or you get a knockout. And there is the rare doctor stoppage, but that's super rare. Because of the way injuries work in this game, pretty much, it's really hard to cut someone enough to knock them out, like to get a doctor stoppage. Like, I think I've only ever got like 5 doctor stoppage out of the like hundreds of games I've played on this. It used to be a lot easier, but they for some reason just nerfed doctor stoppage, so even if you just spend the entire fight peppering them with a billion jabs, it don't matter. It doesn't matter how many times you hit them in the brow, it just feels nigh impossible to really get them with anything close to a doctor stoppage. Come on, come in. No hug. My stamina is so gassed. Going in with limited stamina is not fun, I tell you that. Come on. I'm not sure how that hook went down there, but okay. So, it's nigh impossible to get his head here. This guy's just being so defensive. I need to get, like, some big shot on him. That's the issue here. I need some big shot that really just rocks him. Like, it's really hard. Oh, there we go. Got him. Wait, why is my punches slowed down? What is going on here? Oh, wow. I just got cheesed by the game so hard right there. Oh, wow, game. Okay. So apparently I can't power punch at all. Oh, that sounds like a nightmare. A game on the PS3 with no health bars on the bosses. Oh, I can't even imagine how much of a nightmare that would be. I would lose my mind at that. I think I've played a game like that as well, where there was like no boss health bars. Come on. Come on. Oh, my head's not good, doing good. He's really walling me up right now because he's got the stamina for it. And he's weaving everything. Come on, throw a punch so I can hurt you. I'm not sure. Okay, game. Yeah, 100%. I'm not sure how I survived that, but I'll take it. Please, game. How'd that hook miss? I'll never know. Oh! No! Ah! I just can't get the force because I just don't have the punch power. I just don't have the punch power to knock him down. Curse my guy's weak and brittle hand. They're like pincushion. It doesn't matter how much I smack him in the head because he could just eat him. I thought that was going to be a flash knockout as well. That's so unfortunate. That might be a draw or a loss on my part. Draw. Okay, I felt like the draw was coming. I was so close to that knockout. That was a good fight to end it on, I say. I think that was a really good fight to end it on. Like I tell you, in this game, the game is so much better when you face lower overall fighters because the game isn't moving at Mach speed. And so the mechanics don't glitch out as much. They actually function half the time. You can actually move and pace the fight in a way that makes sense. I tell you that. Like, I definitely believe this game has the chance to be good, but they really... Yeah, I have, like, no punch power, so it doesn't matter if he eats my punches, because I can make him eat 1 billion punches. Don't matter. I have no punch power, and he's low enough that his punch power is just not enough to knock me out, because I'm getting out before his most dangerous punch will hit me. Which leaves it sort of like as I'm getting just a stack of draws right now. Like, I can bring up my stats so you get to see how bad my punches are. Like, where's my... Look at this punch power, yeah? I have a lot of left hand, but I have no right hand, and I got no bonus on my stats, yeah? I just got left hand, and that's it. And that's purely because to upgrade speed, you have to upgrade this. And then I got, like, decent accuracy, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, I feel like... I got no hands. No, I went out of my way to do this. This is a challenge run where I'm doing a defensive-based fighter. So my whole thing is I'm meant to be counter-punching. But the issue with counter-punches, if the AI just throws certain punches, you can't do anything. My guy got pillow hands because I actually based him off a real dude. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up here because we got a few fights in. We got like 4 fights in, 4, 5 fights in. That was pretty good. I also want to eat something and I want to get some Noah 2 in as well. So I'll probably be gone for like half an hour so I can eat, get a drink, rinse out my face, you know, normal everyday stuff. Do some stretches, you know, because my back is like coiling in right now, it feels like. Yeah, it is the most, quotation marks, realistic. The issue is when the game gets faster and faster paced, the game becomes more buggy and more broken and more exploitative. Which game am I playing? I'm going to play Noah 2, which will be... I guess I can boot it up now, so let me just switch over. And I can boot up the game. Just to show you what I'll be playing after. So let me just close this down. 1 second. Just closing my screen because I'm not sure what I have open in the background. I probably have like personal information because I keep forgetting to close that stuff. Because I'm a moron. Oh no, I don't actually have any of that open for once. Wow, I actually was prepared this time for once. That's shocking. I actually remembered to close stuff for once. That just shows you my level of intelligence. Let me boot it up. Okay, booting up, booting up. I might have to play Shin Megami Tensei on stream once. Like, because I believe I have is it Nocturnal I believe I have? I might have to try and play that on stream. That'll be a fun time, me suffering through that. I would argue PS3 was pretty good, but I'm not sure about PS4. Like, I'd definitely say PS3 was pretty good. But yeah, this is the game I'm going to be playing. When I get back. But I will be ending this stream just so I have them as separate streams. Because that way, people can watch the game they want to watch instead of having to watch or skip through a stream to watch the game they want to. But this is the game I will be playing, which is a... It's set in like the... I forget what era of China it is, but it's sort of set during the period where they're trying to unite sort of Japan. I believe it's set during that period. No, I haven't. Anyway, I will be hopping off for a bit, so this stream will be ending. I hope you all enjoyed my ranting and my raving. I'll be back in around about half an hour after I've eaten. So do keep an eye out, because a new stream should pop up at some point, which will probably be called placeholder until I actually sort out the background tags and stuff. Because that's what I do now. I just call it placeholder and then I put the title in afterwards. So see you in a bit, you know? See you in a bit.